little shadows, it's me again, your master, the Shadow Reader, here today to provide you all with a little new video. This is a video that I've been needing to make for so freaking long now, but now that I actually have the time and the, well, energy to actually go out of my way and make this video, I think it's extremely important to discuss a very important topic on hand. This has been something that a lot of people have been asking me about, and that is regarding the Backyardigans Backyard Adventures, the little reboot thing that I had made way back in 2017. To start this all off, I want to start this off by saying primarily that the original concept of this quote-unquote reboot series was only going to be around, say, 2 episodes at most. Originally, the very original concept of the Backyardigans Backyard Adventures was primarily as a little something to kind of make. You know, I remember sitting there and grabbing a tablet and everything and just kind of writing down the story as I wound up grabbing the tablet and began writing the story. Sorry if it seems like I'm not talking properly. I don't have a script for this, but to be 100% honest with all of you, this was just originally a story that I had made primarily just to sit there and make a Backyardigans Creepypasta out of. Now, after that first video was uploaded and everything, a lot of people actually really enjoyed it. And so much so to the point that someone asked me to sit there and make a secondary one. And so, as many of you should know, that's where Say Uncle came from, which was actually going to be the... how do I put this? Strictly speaking, the episode Say Uncle was supposed to be a little bit of a taste test to what Season 2 of the Backyardigans Backyard Adventures was definitely going to be about. Now, after I wound up sitting there and making part 2 of this series, a lot of people asked me to sit there and make more episodes for this. And so I decided to go on ahead and kind of take this into some level of consideration. So gradually over time, I sat there and made episode after episode after episode after episode. You know, many episodes that you guys know about. And the last episode that I made was way back in 2018, strictly speaking, the episode being called Roofest, which was kind of the last episode that I had made featuring the Backyardigans Reboot series. And ever since around 2018, I actually haven't had a whole lot of motivations to sit there and actually, you know, continue on with the series. I'm not really 100% sure why, but if I had to make a specific, how do I put this? If I had to give myself a specific timeline, it would probably have to be around when I was living in the trailer. To be honest, my mental health was doing very, very, very poorly there. I was alone, I didn't have anybody there. I quite literally was losing my damn mind, but to be fair, I don't remember very much of anything that went on at that camper, except for like maybe the fact that I had a bunch of riblets and, you know, I think the lights turning back on when I finally left. It's very, very, very blurry and I don't remember anything about it, and I think that's a good thing, but as many of you should know, I haven't made a Backyardigans Backyard Adventure episode since around that time, since 2018. Now, I've wanted to make more episodes of the series, to be completely honest with all of you. Unfortunately, however, I just haven't really had a whole lot of time to do so. And not only have I had no time to actually go out of my way and make any new episodes of the show, I've gradually over time completely lost a lot of interest with the series. Now, that's not to say that I've completely lost interest in it. I have made some artwork and concept work and things like that for the series if I were to actually make it into one. Specifically pictures of Austin the kangaroo sitting there and having long ass hair and things like that. A couple pictures of Pablo and, you know, what his Bond and Reboot series would look like. But I'm not going to sit there and waste any of your time. I think I should probably go on to my way and answer the question a lot of people have been asking. Will this series continue? The answer is, I have absolutely no idea. I can't say no, and I can't say yes either. Because anything could particularly happen. You know, one thing I think many of you should know about, I was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, as it's currently known now as attention deficit hyperactive disorder in ERT. At least that's the modern version of what it's being strictly called, at least according to medical dictionaries, psychological dictionaries, and the like. Which specifically means that I have a very hard time keeping my mindset on one thing. Primarily one of the reasons why I really try and make sure that I get artwork done as quickly as possible, at least I forget about it. And the Backyardigans Backyard Adventures was specifically one of those series that gradually over time, I wind up losing more and more interest over. However, as of recently, the Backyardigans have actually started gaining a lot more popularity, and obviously I think we can thank TikTok for that. Never thought I'd actually go out of my way and say that, my god. But strictly speaking, the whole thing is actually gaining a lot more popularity. My videos have actually gotten a lot more views because of the whole situation, and I'll be 100% completely honest with all of you, it's been giving me a little bit more motivation to actually make it again. But again, there are a couple of issues with this. Number one, I work 10-hour shifts almost on a completely daily basis with the exception of Friday, because I get off early on Fridays specifically. So obviously by the time I get home, I'm extremely tired. I have absolutely no motivation to do much of anything except maybe draw, but that's close to about it. Videos are usually not something that is on my mind. Not only that, but it takes a lot of time and effort to actually sit there and write an episode, because it does require a lot more brainstorming and things like that, like how any episode would go about, because you really want to make sure of it that the episode itself works by and flows out well. And given the fact this is an arc series of sorts with Austin, I wanted it to make sure of it that it actually stayed as consistent as possible, with as very few filler episodes as possible. I wanted it to primarily stick with the main arc of Austin before it finally kind of wound up collapsing in on itself after 2018. Which is why you didn't really see a whole lot of adventures, quote unquote, that went on with the series itself. Now, like I said before, I don't know exactly whether or not the series itself is going to continue or not. Maybe it will. Maybe it might not. It really depends on whether or not if my brain decides to say, hey, this is a good opportunity for you. Get started, get writing, get doing all this thing, make concept art, make everything that you can now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Or my brain just saying, nah, screw it, just dump it entirely. I really don't want that to be the case, to be honest. But then again, my mind is ultimately the thing that kind of makes the decision for me. Thank you, ADD. So yeah, thought I'd make this little update video for any of you who are probably wondering about the series in question, things like that. So yeah, not going to sit there and waste any of your time. Thanks again for watching today's episode of My Little Shadows. I know it's a relatively short video. I don't want to make it any longer than it already is. And if you're new here to this channel, for whatever reason, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, things like that, yada yada yada. You don't have to if you really don't want to. If you want to just stick around for whatever, I'm perfectly content with that. It's your decision to make. That's all good with me. Anyway, thanks again for watching today's episode, you guys. I'm the Shadow Reader, and like always, roll the outro, because I'm out. In fear and surprise as your eyes widen, your mouth goes dry with each battered breath. You try to scream, your mind begs to leave, glued to your computer screen. The killers they slash, the tapes burn and crash. The cartridge you bought will be your final haunt. The rituals of hate will seal your fate. The tears you shed will be from the fear-gripping horror-driven nightmarish gore-filled, terrorizing, hateful, burning, violent, rage-inducing, knife-slashing, blood-splattering, silent screams. Only time will tell if you will escape this online hell. Your horror-filled obsessions will come with its own regressions. Your pathetic screams will not be heeded in any way, because your nightmares will come at